Moving on to the next session. The next topic is Chaturthi Fingers by Dr. Vijay Jhar, and I would like to invite the chairperson for the next session, Dr. Dipankar Dey. Um, Dr. Dipankar Dey is an MD dermatology from PGI Chandigarh and passed out from 2005. The areas of interest include acne and immunobilous diseases, and he has more than 250 publications in his name, and he has won Ellen Sinha Memorial Award 2016. And
slide is of Dr. Jhawar.
Correct.
Yes, now it is correct.
I'd like our chairperson to introduce the next speaker, Dr. Vijay Jhawar, sir.
Right. So thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. First of all, I thank Dr. Dinesh Mathur sir for inviting me to chair this talk. And this is a sort of privilege for me to introduce the speaker for the next talk, who is a very dear senior. He is Dr. Vijay Jhawar. He is based at Nashik, Maharashtra, and he is a professor and head at the Department of Dermatology at Dr. BP Medical College, and he is also a consultant dermatologist. He has held several positions in IIDVL, academic positions including membership of IIDVL Academy, coordinator SIG urticaria, convener SIG pigmentary dermatosis, and organizational positions including he has been the past vice president of IIDVL, past president of IIDVL Maharashtra, and he has been the e-voting national coordinator in 2 years, that is 2017 and 2019. He has been bestowed with several awards, and most important of them being Dr. B.M. Ambadi Oration in 2011 and Dr. Ganapati Panja Award in 2021. He is member of several national and international associations, and he is editorial member of several national and international journals. As I understand the talk, the topic for the talk is Chaturthi Fingers and pear-like contact dermatitis. And if I remember correctly, the topic for the oration, the Dr. B.M. Ambadi oration, was based on pityriasis rosea. So no one is more able than Dr. Vijay Jhawar to deliver this talk. So over to you, Dr. Jhawar.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, dear friend, Dr. Dipankar, for your extremely kind and generous words. I'm really touched. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Dinesh Mathur sir for, after so many elaborate and esteemed speakers, he has been very kind to accommodate and encourage me to talk on very two small observations in clinical practice. I would be presenting two small cases, but before that, I must congratulate Dr. Dinesh Mathur sir for the undampened enthusiasm in conducting Portficon, that too in the hybrid form. For that is one. And secondly, I must congratulate the organizers for rightly thinking about Dr. A.K. Bajaj Hall in this conference. That is actually an extremely great gesture. So I will be starting this presentation. These are two small cases actually, nothing big, nothing major, only small two observation in my clinical practice. The first one is 52 years old male patient who presented with recurrent pruritic and painful eczema, recurrent eczema on the fingers. Especially it was more on the right hand, dominant hand, as compared to the left one. The dermatitis used to flare up without any explained reason at a specific time interval, and then it used to be gradually subsiding even without treatment at times. A possibility, he has seen number of dermatologists, a possibility of contact dermatitis was considered when he saw me for the first time. Possibility of allergic contact dermatitis, then initial all nickel, latex, household cleansers, then personal utility items, all these were thought of, but actually none of them were proven. In fact, the initial screening of the past testing done at some other center was also not conclusive. It was very interesting. He used to respond partially with the topical steroids and antihistamines, but the dermatitis used to flare up suddenly without any explained reasons. So on further probing, I wanted to ask him what he was doing, and he came out with he was a Hindu priest working in the Lord Ganesha temple. So he thought it is a curse of God that it's during the time of puja he used to get the severe exacerbation. This alerted me a bit, but I wasn't sure again. Then I further kept on asking him what was the rituals that he was engaged into. So he used to pluck the hibiscus flowers from his garden in the previous evening, place them in a sacred water before making the offering. And a straw color fluid used to be appearing at the end of severed stalk of the flowers, and this was probably the suspected thing that alerted me that there is something in connection with this. So the extracts of Hibiscus rosa sinensis flower petals, stems, leaves, and as well as the alternative material which could be contributing to the contact dermatitis was also included in the tasting. Turmeric, kumkum, then rice grains. These are usual rituals, particularly Hindu worships. Those who are well versed with, they will be knowing. The worship of Lord Ganesha were used for past testing in the Finch chambers. An extract of Hibiscus rosa sinensis was prepared after squeezing a liquid from the stalk, that is a peduncle, leaves, flowers, and dispersed in the petrolatum to achieve a dilution of 1%. A drop of this preparation was placed in the Finch chamber, but it was liquid, so a small tiny cotton ball was also added to hold the antigen in place. The exposure time was 72 hours and reading was performed on day 4 of the application, which showed 2+ reaction. 7 controlled patients showed no reaction to hibiscus extract for this preparation, and 7-day repeated open application test with the other ritual materials was also negative. Actually, this part was contributed. I am very proud to say that this was contributed by none other than Dr. A.K. Bajaj sir. Commonly used flowers for offerings in our region are lotus, hibiscus, marigold, and rose. These are the common flowers that we use for offering. Hibiscus rosa sinensis is a flowering plant native to tropical Asia. Hibiscus is known for irritant dermatitis, immediate hypersensitivity reaction, as well as mucosal symptoms in gardeners and greenhouse workers. However, contact dermatitis to Hibiscus rosa sinensis is quite rare. In one study, 2 out of 44 subjects showed some sort of positive test reactions. This was the only study reported. And leaves and stem of Hibiscus rosa sinensis are supposed to contain an antigen known as beta cytosterol and its analogs, stigma cytosterol, taraxeryl acetate, 3-cyclopropane compounds. These are included in the stem and the leaves, but the flowers contain cyanidine diglucoside and flavonoids. Unfortunately, I did not have any mechanism of extracting the biochemical component because of lack of resources. And both of these cases that I am presenting are more than 1.5 decades ago. In fact, 2 decades ago for this patient. So I had forgotten about this once the patient was very clear after the treatment and after the past testing was done. But Dr. Bajaj, actually he reminded me twice that how was your patient, which actually I had forgotten. And then I thought of, on his request, I thought of writing a small article on this. And it was an ordeal for me to explain all these terms to the reviewers. What is Hindu temple? What does it contain? What did they offer for the god? What does a pujari mean? And Lord Ganesha, and what is the connection of hibiscus flower? Actually, the hibiscus flowers are one of the most favorite flowers which are offered to Lord Ganesha, which belong to Malvesi family. And what is Chaturthi is actually the 4th day of each lunar month as per Hindu calendar, if somebody doesn't know. And the most sacred day to offer the prayers to Lord Ganesha was Chaturthi, actually, the day of Chaturthi. And this was the day, around this day, the exacerbation of the dermatitis used to be observed. And this is how we could connect the missing links in this patient. So he was clear for another 2 years, and then later on, we lost his follow-up. Then probably the patient must be absolutely fine. And he was so thankful and grateful. He never came back after the clearance of dermatitis, but he kept on sending patients to me and gratefully sending messages with each patient. So dermatologists should be aware of this rare cause of contact dermatitis of the fingertips to avoid delayed diagnosis. To prevent sensitization to the other flowers, it was also advised to the patient to wear gloves and use scissors to cut the stalks of the flowers, to collect the flowers on a plastic sheet. So don't collect it on the bare hand. So knowledge of religious practices was important in arriving at the accurate diagnosis. This was my first case, which was eventually published in Contact Dermatitis. I will come to that later on. This is my second case, young man, unmarried, manual laborer, who presented with multiple scaly pruritic eruptions on the trunk and part of extremities, but especially the thighs, but distal extremities were clear. There was history of fever and coryza 4 weeks ago. And while I was working with the cases of Pityriasis rosea that time, for which this patient had history of fever and coryza and very typical rash conforming the Langus line and very typical morphology of 1 to 5 centimeter oval plaques, scaly, sudden onset. I was, not in much doubt when the patient responded to topical short course of steroids, topical emollients, and antihistamines, and I thought this was done. There was nothing identifiable in his clinical history as well as the investigations. The fungal scraping and VDRL was also negative in this patient. Oh, but then unfortunately there was recurrence after 3 weeks of the clearance. Again after 2 months of the clearance. Then I started questioning myself, am I right? And he admitted the recent use of using some sort of mustard oil application after body massage, particularly on the day of his holiday, that is weekends. And contact dermatitis to mustard oil was a little suspicion that peeped in my mind. He was asked to withhold the mustard oil application. Then lesions cleared with topical application of betamethasone and some antihistamine, and he was again lost for the follow-up. Then he again came after 2 months saying that he used on limited area, but it is again showing itching. So doctor, what you are thinking is probably correct. So what you said, we should get it investigated. You suggested me last time. Now please get the patch testing done. So having considered the possibility, but I was still not sure whether nickel or he was engaged into tile cutting business. I mean tile cutting manual labor, where he has to cut the tiles into proper proportions, stick them on the floor. So a tile dust used to be, around him. A part of cement and nickel used to be involved in this. So I wasn't sure. So all these material, when it was tested one by one, probably came negative. So I was left out with no other choice than to test the mustard oil. It was diluted with coconut oil, concentrations of 0.05%, 0.1%, 0.05%, 0.5%, and 1%, and 5%. These all concentrations in coconut oil diluted was used as control as per advice of respected Pasricha sir, because Pasricha sir was the only article that was traceable to me when he had reported one of such kind of patients reported to the mustard called contact dermatitis. So this patient tested to all the concentrations of mustard oil at the end of 96 hours, and irritant reaction was ruled out. Personal care products like soaps, shampoos were also tested, but it did not evoke, as well as the tile dust and the solution created during that time. That also did not evoke any inflammatory reaction. Similar patch test on 5 healthy volunteers also did not show any inflammatory reaction because of tile dust. Skin biopsy could not be performed. I'm sorry, I could not have this patch testing photograph because this patient was, seen many years ago, and I had lost the patch testing photograph that time. He was then finally diagnosed as having contact allergic dermatitis to mustard oil, avoiding skin contact of mustard oil since then, and he remained clear of his dermatitis for more than 1 year, and that was a huge, I thought that is an achievement for me. So mustard oil is nothing but an amber-colored volatile liquid derived from the seeds of mustard plant. It is used in foods, soaps, or as well as rubeficient or counter-irritant in folk medicine, repellent for cats and dogs, some ointments and fumigant. It is also used in body hair massage, and mustard oil is found in some of the cooked material like cabbage and cauliflower. Mustard belongs to the family Brassicaceae, and the allyl isothiocyanate is a chief antigen in the mustard oil, which is a volatile chemical composition. Eczematous and vesicular eruptions are known with this. Irritant dermatitis is more common than the contact dermatitis. As I said, Pasricha sir reported contact sensitivity to mustard khad and mustard oil. Despite its widespread use, especially in North India, reports of contact dermatitis due to mustard oil are extremely rare. So my learning points were a seemingly atypical case of Pityriasis rosea may actually represent a contact reaction. I learned it hard way. The case signifies importance of extracting an appropriate history from the patient. And this case report was eventually published in IGDVL in long ago in 2005. And I had actually included the acknowledgement to Pasricha sir. Sir, are you there? Pasricha sir is there. So key message is a careful history taking as well as good observation of occupational or religious rituals that patient may be engaged with is an important and often serve us as clues for diagnosis of difficult case. My sincere acknowledgement to two stalwarts in this field. One is Dr. J.S. Pasricha sir, with whom I did a fellowship in contact dermatitis at AIIMS in 1995, which generated my interest in contact dermatitis, and he guided me through the case too. Second acknowledgement to none other than late Professor Dr. A.K. Bajaj sir for generating my interest in contact dermatitis during my practice. Even I used to call him at 10 o'clock at night after my patients are over, and he used to pick up the phone and he used to talk to me half an hour at least, guiding me how should I collect the antigens, and sometimes he used to take a feedback from me whether Vijay, what have you done with that patient? Do you need any more help? So that was really great of sir. Further to tell you the story of this case one, I had forgotten, but he reminded me twice or thrice actually. And then I sat down because not to disappoint him, and I sat down to write a small contact point report for contact dermatitis. And I was, extremely pleasantly surprised that editor not only chose this article for publication, but he put it on the cover page of contact dermatitis. And when I told sir, touching his feet, and I dedicated this article to him, he hugged me and he was, extremely delighted. I still can't forget the tears in his eyes, and therefore I sincerely acknowledge the guidance of Dr. Bajaj sir. And I thought, let me take an opportunity to pay homage to respected Bajaj sir. Actually, it is very personal loss for me, and I should wind up this. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, Mathur sir, for presenting my two small penny bits. Thank you very much, sir.
Right. So thank you, Dr. Jawar, for two very interesting and well worked up cases of contact dermatitis with materials of daily use that way, and your reference to the two doyens of contact dermatitis in India, and also deciphering the source of the term Chaturthi, because I didn't go through the full text of the article, but then Chaturthi fingers is not mentioned in the standard text that way. And in the morning I searched the Google with Chaturthi with I at the end, not Y, and I didn't find anything in Google. So this is a very interesting and eye-opener case for me as well, and I think everyone in the audience have enjoyed your talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an amazing presentation. Thank you, Dr. Deepankar Dey, sir, for chairing the session.